Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today, for your daily dose of dead, we are going to talk about The Walking Dead, the coming episode, some stuff from the previous episode that aired the other night, and just some kind of random sort of stuff, but all about The Walking Dead. For those who don't know, or maybe you missed an update video, we are transitioning this month in putting more focus into polished videos. We got Deeper Into. I just took a break from working on that. Behind the scenes, Deeper Into 905. If you don't know anything about the Deeper Into videos, they're probably my most requested videos. It's where we dive in deep. It's a companion series where you watch the episode, you watch our Deeper Into, and then you go back and rewatch the episode, and maybe you get a different perspective. It's way deeper than a review, and we're making each coming video a lot more detailed. So the predictions and daily doses of dead or news updates and stuff like that are going to be really raw when it comes to editing and stuff, and we're going to put the main focus on those Deeper Intos. So just to put that out there for anyone who's new, we are continuing to shipping My Comic Doomsday Kingdom. Just a little mini update. We have 2 updates for Doomsday Kingdom coming up that's going to talk about the plans moving forward with the first volume and restructuring and changing it so that with the new issues coming out, issues 4 and 5, you will be able to purchase them when they're fully in stock. So keep an eye out for those updates. And if you do have orders in, don't worry, we are still shipping all throughout March. And so I think that's it as far as updates. Let's dive right into this. First thing first, Beta is a beast. There's a couple cool articles with Beta. I'm so thrilled they put Ryan Hurst in as Beta. I'm so friggin' thrilled. I think he's perfect. There's no other Beta, in my opinion. Coming up in the next episode, we have the fight between Beta and Daryl on the show, and he says it's going to be a 3-page fight. They worked for a week getting this fight down. The fight between Beta and Daryl is something to look forward to, said Hurst. Being a huge fan of the show, when I first read it in the script, I was really, really excited. They're also hinting of something coming up, something major that's going to be an oh shit for the ending. We kind of got a hint at what that's going to be, and there's a big multiple death event on its way. But I just thought it was a little odd the way they mentioned it, because the way it sounds, it's going to be the episode before the finale, but then some people are saying the finale, the end, has a whole shit moment. So I'm getting a little confused. I thought the whole shit moment would be the death. However, Beta's look, I freaking love this, because if you take a gander at this image, you'll notice something familiar right here. It looks like a belt buckle, right? And this is a big one. It's like a double wide, double the width of a normal belt, and it looks really familiar. Look at that. It's literally, except for these two here, this hoop here, it is identical. It's the same belt. Right away I thought, holy shit, Rick threw his belt over the iron rods and he lifted himself up. Okay, I didn't think that. Somebody said that when I mentioned, holy shit, they got the same belt buckle. Now, Rick doesn't have a custom belt buckle. It's not the only belt buckle in the world. That's actually a pretty common belt buckle. However, it could be anything there, but this being the rectangle thing, it looks identical. Maybe they're even reusing Rick's, and then you would think, well, yeah, that's perfect. Rick used his belt to pull himself up. Nope, that's not the case. Rick actually took off his belt. See, this thick double wide is actually his holster for his gun, his hatchet, his bullets. I think they got a quick reload, those 2 little back things. I think that's for a quick reload on his revolver. I don't know the technical terms, but he doesn't use this buckle here. So no, Beta doesn't have Rick's belt. Rick actually takes off his pants belt, not his weapon holster. 2 different belts. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I noticed this little mistake here too. Look at behind Alpha from last night's episode. Look at behind Alpha. She's like, yeah, bitch, you're gonna die. Look at all the brush. And then look at all the brush. Oh, shit. Henry's like, I done fucked up. And then look at all the brush. Look at her belly with her tucked in shirt. Look at the Ouroboros belt buckle. And then, oh no, where'd it go? So you guys see all that tucked in? This is how nitpicky. Look at behind her. There's no brush. When this moment happened last night, I was instantly, it was so quick. It's only 2 seconds, but something was jarring and it was weird. I got like this, whoa, that was cool, but that shot, there was something weird with that shot. What was that shot? And then it took me a moment, but when you go back and watch it, what's his name isn't here. Beta and them aren't behind her. Her shirt's not tucked in. It's actually tucked out. She doesn't have the belly. This is almost definitely not Samantha Morton. This is a stand-in. And they filmed this death in a completely different area with no brush behind her. I had to point that out because a lot of people will say, and I don't care. I don't care. This happens in movies. Some guy's holding a bag over his right shoulder and it's over his left shoulder and vice versa and yada, yada, yada between edits. I'm really nitpicky, but at the end of the day, if you have a bad edit, it's a bad edit. It is what it is. It doesn't ruin the moment for me, but now that I notice it, I'm never going to miss it. But some people always tell me, like, Ronnie, why do you pick this out? Why do you talk about this and this? That's a little nitpicky. I just honestly talk about what comes to mind. When I watched this scene, something jumped out at me, and then I didn't even write it down. I didn't know what jumped out at me. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, that's it. The background, just it pulls you out of it because you go right from, this whole, I don't know, it's in close. You have Henry here and you have the brush. I just get this in close vibe when she does the kill, and then it feels open and spacious right here. I don't know. I'm trying to give some of you guys an idea what goes on through my mind when I nitpick some of the shit. One other final thing, the ending to the intro, not final thing, but, and then I'll get back to what I was saying with Beta and why we were talking about his belt buckle. The ending to the intro, it used to be this in the beginning of season 9. It is now this with a friggin' whisper. Well, first off, this guy has no arm, but this is a whisper. You can see the stitching in the back of the head. Maybe I should move my ugly ass mug away here. There we go. You could see the back of the head. You could see the knife he's holding. Oh, I loved it. I don't know how I caught this, or maybe someone pointed it out, or I was rewatching the episode and I noticed it and I went and pulled the images to create this picture. I think that's what it was. Because I did rewatch the episode. I actually rewatched 905 and the other one partially, though I fast forwarded through a bunch. But yeah, just a little something. Anyhow, Beta's trench coat, his gold teeth. Here's an article. I'm going to leave the links down below. This is from The Insider. I'm propping up The Insider a lot because I started following Kirsten. Is her name's Kirsten or Kirsten? She works at The Insider or works for The Insider. I'll be honest, I haven't looked into how that works, but she posts a lot of fresh updates and pictures and images and interviews and stuff, and I think that's really, really cool. So I thought maybe I'd shout them out. This seems like I haven't found any clickbait stuff, and you guys know when I find an entertainment site that doesn't do the clickbait, I'm like, there, bro. I want to support them all that doesn't clickbait it. Because I feel like the clickbaity stuff is a waste of time. Come up with a cool title. Ryan Hurst says Beta's outfit on The Walking Dead is a lot of nods they stole from other characters on the show. That's a cool title, and guess what? It's not clickbait, so I'm supporting you. Good job, Kirsten. Please tell me how to pronounce your name, because I suck at names. Anyhow, you guys already know, belt buckle is a nod to Rick, but it doesn't seem like it is actually Rick's, because Rick left with his buckle on the helicopter, unless they took it off when they kind of healed him. We didn't see any of that because they cut. That's actually why I went back and watched 905 again, although I was doing the deeper into, but I wanted to verify this as I was doing that at the same time. He's got gold teeth, which might hint at his background. Ryan Hurst does say there's a lot here. They worked on his backstory. They did discuss him taking his mask off, and then he talked with the showrunner Angela Kang, and Ryan Hurst actually really likes the idea of a man who just refuses to take off this dead skin face, which I give him props for that, because you got a lot of stuck-up actors out there who they will not take roles if you cover up most of their face, because they want to be on a screen, they want people to see them, they want people to recognize them, and this, that, and the third. I remember reading that in a few books, and I was like, are you shitting me? If it's a good pay and it's an awesome role, who gives a shit, Anyway, so you guys know he's got He's got the gold teeth, which I think that's going to play into his backstory. His face looks like this because he's so big he couldn't find an actual head. That is what it made it seem in the comic. It looked really ridiculous in the comic. He didn't have a beard. He was clean shaven and his face just jetted out of this little tiny mask he had on. But I think the bait on the show looks absolutely amazing here. It looks like he has a smiley face t-shirt, one of those old, it looks like a retro with a smiley face and it says some corny line here. And then you have a red scarf, kind of similar to Negan's. You also have the jacket, which isn't Jesus's, but again, it has that Jesus vibe to it. Jesus has a trench coat. The governor had a trench coat, and they did say there is something there. They are pulling from older characters, and they will reveal it later on. So if you want to give this article a read, I found this really interesting. It goes over how he ended up on The Walking Dead. His outfit here, he says, symbolic, yes, but I won't tell you too much. I always just thought if there's a zombie apocalypse, we're going to need 3 things. 1, you're going to need, like Forrest Gump, you're going to need a comfortable pair of shoes. That might be a hint. 2, you're going to need layers, right? Zombies can't fight if they can't fight through 10 layers of clothing. And 3, you got to have good teeth. So, look, it's a pragmatic decision outside of looking super cool. How long are you going to survive if your teeth are rotting out of your head? So I was like, wouldn't it be cool if this guy had gold teeth? And no, they didn't change his height. That is his real height. He's a beast of a man. So, and he does confirm there's hundreds of whispers. We might not have seen them all in their camp, but he does say that there's absolutely hundreds, and they're not going into details on his backstory or anything, but it is definitely worth the read. And a little fun fact, this scene here where the dog went and got the stick and went to hand it to Norman, I can't play it all, but I am pulling some information for future deeper intos, and the dog actually broke the stick when Norman went to grab it, and then the whole bad dog thing was a ad-lib, and they left it in. I thought that was great. I didn't catch it the first time that he broke it the way. I knew the dog broke it, but I thought he broke it getting it out. I didn't know he broke it because he didn't want to give it back to Norman. But anyway, that was an ad-lib that they left in. In the trailer, and we're going to get into some predictions now, in the trailer, this guy in this image is wounded. And in the trailer coming up, we're going to discuss, he is actually a walker that Daryl shoots. It's real quick. I only noticed it because he was real fresh looking. He kind of looked like Night of the Living Dead. He was fresh like that among all the rotted zombies. And then Daryl shot him. So I'm not sure if this is someone wounded from the distraction attack that Daryl did the night before. But I do think that a large part of this is going to be the Whispers chasing after Daryl and them. And that's going to be a heavy part leading into their fight, which is going to be epic. So you have... let's check out some of these images if you haven't seen them yet. This is some area that looks like it's a construction area. It does look like they stopped off to rest. We hear Daryl say, "I'm done running." So this is like where they're going to make their final stand to go ahead and fight Beta or some of the Whispers. This is kind of funny. Then what is what she wrote on there. It took me a minute. I remember zooming in on that. I can't do it on Twitter for some reason, but she said, then what? So this is them making the plan for what's coming up next after leading or running away from Beta and them. We do see, interesting enough, this group, the Hilltop group, going to the Kingdom from the Hilltop, which is a big like, oh shit, because we just saw Alexandria heading to the Hilltop. Now we got the Kingdom. Who's there? You got Tammy, you got Earl, you got the baby. A lot of people were asking, what happened to the baby? The Whisperer's baby? And that's the Whisperer's baby. We talked about it in the review, but a few people missed it. And again, I think this is going to be a major part in one of the deaths coming up that's going to have an effect that you didn't really, you know what I mean? It kind of adds on. It's not like you're going to cry for Tammy, but it's the situation the way they're going to do it, I think you guys are going to go nuts for. Some of you are just going to hate no matter what. But is this Jesus's trench coat? Maybe she has his, but somebody has his. Something's blocking them in the road. This might just be a regular zombie group of zombies. We do see them in the trailer fighting some zombies, or it can be the Highwaymen. We're gonna get to them in a second. But yeah, Earl and Tammy are heading to the hilltop, and I'm calling it. I've already called it, but Tammy, I think she's gonna die. You also have the Abercrombie and Fitch bitches. You got this girl who actually looks like she's gonna step up. Look at her. She's like, man, listen, I'm gonna kill me a walker. This guy looks like, what are you, crazy? I ain't doing that. And then, yeah, they got all their fruit. This is pretty much just them heading to, maybe the Highwaymen did block the path. Yeah, see right here? It could be the Highwaymen blocking the path, causing some problems there. We have Carol and Nabala. What's her name? Neblia? All right, so she's with Diane. I think what's going to happen is Carol and Nabila, is that her name? I always screwed that up. Carol is sitting here checking out the fair, kind of reminiscent of something from the comic where Andrea was doing it, but she's checking out the fair. And then Diane approaches. She says, me and Jerry were on a run, doing something somewhere out in the thing, and we got this letter. Because Jerry later says that they might have overheard him talking about it. Diane is the one in the trailer. I can't play it, but I will have links down. Actually, just go to AMC on YouTube channel. They have it right there. They gave her this note, and on the note is their symbol. It's not the Whisperers. This is confirmed to be the Highwaymen, another group that's a pirate group that moved in on the old Whisperers territory. Consequences. Carol killed the Whisperers, not the Whisperers, the Saviors. Carol killed the old Savior group, Jed and them, and then this pirate random band of bandits, they moved right in on the territory. They overheard them talking about the fair, so now they're going to try to ransom the safety of the roads for some supplies and whatnot. Here's just another cool image of Beta here. I think we already showed that early on. So here's the two trailers you can check out. Right here is just them talking about the Highwaymen. This is, from what we can pull from this, I don't know what the point is and where this is going to go. I just know that this could be a distraction and help them let their guard down. If Daryl and them are dealing with the Whisperers, you got the Highway group band of pirates. Either they work out a deal to get it all squashed, or they end up killing them. All the communities come together. That's an interesting thought. All the communities come together. You got the Alexandria group showing up. You got the Hilltop group showing up. I don't think these pirates are ready for it. You got Carol and them. They look like in this trailer they're going out there getting ready to help clear the roads. I really think that this is going to open Michonne's eyes and see that we need to clear the patrol roads between communities. We need to come together and not shut ourselves in, because what if they showed up for us, you know? Or what if they did attack the kingdom and killed people we cared for? Michonne's cold situation before, she said, listen, if they come to us and want to live in Alexandria, I'll take them with open arms. I'll back that plan. But Ezekiel doesn't want to give up on the kingdom or leave, and that's what she was so cold with. So maybe this is something that's going to bring the communities together. They can sign the charter knowing that coming together is the future or the way for them. They let their guard down, and then the Whisperers show up and slaughter a bunch of people. Not as simple as it sounds, but I do think this could play out similar to that. This trailer is great, man. The trailer hints a lot of moving parts for episode 13. We only got 13, 14, 15, 16. There's only 4 more episodes. Some characters are going to die in just 3 more episodes, I feel. I mean, shit, we might even know exactly who's going to die in just 2, but the fair's kicking off in a couple episodes. This is really exciting. So, essentially, we have the communities are heading now towards the kingdom. That's the main storyline for this episode. The communities are heading towards the kingdom. You have Daryl Connie, Lydia, and Henry now fleeing from the Whisperers, being trailed by Beta, who is going to get in a knockdown, drag-out brawl. I don't know how Daryl's going to get out of that alive. It's unlikely Negan's just going to show up to fight. I wanted him to fight, but maybe in a different episode or a different season, that'll happen. I'm sure definitely in Season 10. But however they get out of that, on the flip side, you have the other communities coming together at the hilltop with this other group blocking roadways. Again, I really wish Maggie was here for this, because this could be really reminiscent of the Saviors back in Season 6, blocking the roadways, being that type of threat. And then again, the Saviors blocked the roadway. Jed did, when he came out, stepped in the road, and kind of gave Maggie that flashback to what it was like. These Saviors are the same ones, and we're letting them live. Because keep in mind, it was little things like that that got under Maggie's skin and made her, or helped build up for her to make the decision she made. It would be great to have her alive at this point in time, so we can have this new group with the roadblocks, and then have Maggie join the others and just putting them down. So I feel like the episode should end more on a, this is a rough one, because I don't know what the hell is going on with Lydia and Alpha. That's one thing I don't know how they're going to mix that up, because I get it in the comic. Alpha had a little bit of a snap moment. She had a little bit of a weak moment. They don't seem to be showing anything like that on the show, so I think that part is going to be remixed, how Lydia gets away. I think she's now officially making the choice to just go, and I don't think she's going to take that back. But as far as the end of the episode, I'm going to leave it up to you guys, because I don't know. How's Daryl getting out of there with his life? How is Lydia getting away from Alpha, at least long enough for Alpha's plan? Maybe they do get caught. I don't know. Yikes. It doesn't matter. We're trying to get ahead of ourselves. That's it for the coming episode. I'm going to shut up before I run on for another 10 minutes. Sorry this was a longer video, but we're talking about everything in one. I didn't have time. I was going all day today, or working and stuff like that. I just had time to sit down to talk about everything that I put together here. Give me your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. And in a couple weeks, stay tuned for the return of the Deeper Into, and if the support is right, we got a surprise Deeper Into behind that, 2 of them, but if the support is right, we'll quickly get working on the next Deeper Into for The Walking Dead. And again, if you guys enjoy it, the long-term goal isn't just Season 9. We want to go back and do Deeper Into, starting from Season 1 all the way up to present day. So you guys give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.